I was bullied by the popular girl in my school district for over 11 years, and now she claims to be a mental health advocate. Some backstory is before capital M and I went to elementary school, we went to this small local one-room schoolhouse. We were somewhat friends, I guess, though. I will admit I was a weird kid and stuck out due to some mental issues I have. I bring this up because all the parents who sent their kids to that school all lived close to each other, and we all knew each other pretty well. They would set up little parties with their kids. Karen would usually be the one hosting these parties and seemed to be the main parent anyone would go to. She had a habit of trying to make everything about her and her daughter and how her family was the best and had no flaws. One day, my brother, 13-14 at the time, was sent by my mom on his bike to go over to Capital M's house because my mom wanted to set up play dates between me and Capital M. He was just sent there to ask if she and Karen could discuss setting up play dates so me and M could be friends, as I lacked a lot of friends back then. When my brother went over there, their dog charged and bit into his arm. He was not leashed and was just out in their yard. Karen practically dragged my brother at the time to my mom's house, but then yelled at my mom, telling her to not take my brother to the doctor to get checked, basically asking my mom to risk her son getting an awful infection. Note, all of my family have autoimmune diseases that put us at horrible risk. My mom gets horrible infections all the time, so her telling my mom not to take my brother in just because she didn't want to get into trouble was basically her saying she didn't care what happened to my brother. Of course, my mom, not being insane, took my brother to the doctor but made sure that Karen's dog didn't get in any trouble. He never got put down or hurt or anything. However, this one event led Karen to start a huge tirade on my family, which would lead to everything that happened to me. First, in elementary school, during an event at the school, Karen decided to shame my mom in front of all the other parents there for buying me shoes too big for my feet. She basically was trying to insinuate my family was too poor to care for their kids. My grandma was actually the one to buy the shoes, and we would buy shoes slightly bigger, so we could grow into them and they would last a couple of years. Karen didn't care, and forced me, 8 at the time, to put on her daughter's shoes in front of everyone to try and prove her point. The shoes didn't even fit, they were very tight and hurt my feet, and I said that. My mom then tried to tell Karen off, but Karen refused to back off. She would start telling all the parents in the school that my family was poor, impoverished, and needed charity and handouts. She started talking to the school and even tried to send me shoes, making the nurse call me down to try and get me to take them. Then she would tell her other parent friends how poor we were, to the point they would come to my mom's house to shove gifts and toys from their kids down our throats, basically harassing my mom through any means she could. Then she started to tell her daughter things about our family, and this led to her daughter harassing me at school. Capital M started small, as of course, we were just kids, so she's not some criminal mastermind. Like insulting the clothes I wore, and having her friends pretend to be my friends, so I would tell them embarrassing things that she could tell everyone else. One thing I remember vividly during 2nd grade was this group of girls in my school would always play with a specific brand of plushies at recess. I wanted to play with them, but they didn't like me at all, due to things M said to them about me. They said that I could only play with them if I had a specific brand of toy. When I got home, I practically begged my mom to buy it. Even then, they refused to let me play with them and would have their plushies kill my plushie, so I would have to go elsewhere. Then they would also shame me about my plushies, because I didn't have the rare ones they had. One time another friend of M's, Jay I'll call her, convinced me that she saw a fairy in the woods because everyone knew at the time I loved fairies. And I will admit I was very dumb and believed anything. I was chasing things in the woods all day during recess and everyone laughed at me about it. When I got my first crush in 4th grade, M had a fake marriage ceremony with him at recess in front of me. In hindsight, I find it really funny, but little me was devastated. While elementary school was practically harmless, middle school was where she was at her worst. She made up a rumor that I had gotten pregnant over summer break with some random kid's baby, the class clown. At this time, I believed I was lesbian, so this one really pissed me off. The M girls cornered me in the bathrooms after school and started to harass me about it. How is the baby in your belly? Oh, how was that night with you and class clown? All of this in the first week of middle school. For the rest of my first year of middle school, she continued with this rumor, which, I will note, still goes on to this day. My little sister's friends even brought it up, saying that kids from their middle school would pull up photos of me saying I was a middle schooler who had to leave the school due to pregnancy. Then the second year of middle school, she found out I was diagnosed with depression and was struggling with severe mental health issues. I was struggling at home with things I won't mention here, as it's personal. I had some behaviors that consisted of self-harm, and kids knew I had it, so they would push me to harm myself in front of them as some sort of spectacle, because no one believed I had these issues due to rumors spread by Capital M and Co. One kid made me try and cut myself with scissors in front of him and would try and get me to hurt myself more and more to prove I had these issues. The bullying got worse and worse throughout the year, with even more rumors about me faking panic attacks and stuff, while I would be sent to the mental hospital every few weeks due to the school not knowing how to handle my issues because they refused to actually do something about the bullying. I even got to the point I was suicidal. Then Capital M went even lower. She started encouraging boys in the school to stalk and touch me during the last year of middle school. Oh, but don't assume she would let the boys have all the fun. Oh no, she wanted in on that sort of harassment too. She decided it would be really funny if she would get all the girls to spy on me while I was changing. I hated being in eyesight when changing in the locker rooms, so I would try to hide in the old shower stalls. She and the other girls would bang on the doors and try and crawl under to get into the stall. When they found that hiding spot, I would go to another one, but the girls followed and would mockingly yell, "I see you," at me, to the point I couldn't even change in the locker rooms because they insisted on trying to watch me change. This caused me to avoid locker rooms for the rest of my school life. There were other things she did that year to hurt me, but that was the main one that impacted me. She also had this boy stalk and touch me, and other boys would steal my hair and stuff. I was called names like slut, retard, autistic, attention whore, and the whole lot. Anytime I made friends, they would either also be targeted or leave me because of rumors spread about me. She cooled down in high school, as she wanted to get on the student council, but she still tried to spread rumors about me, thought we didn't share many classes. I still had my fair share of kids stalking me, mockingly calling my name despite the fact I didn't even know them to taunt me, but it was okay. There are a lot of things that happened to me due to the rumors from elementary and middle school, like physical beatings and attacks on me outside of school, but those are all of the things I really remember from her.